All right, good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining me this morning. So, I have a fairly active flow planned today. So, as always, do what you can, do what feels best for you today. Um, Things may change as we move along. We'll see. So, let's go ahead and get started in a child's pose. So when we're starting, of course, it's always up to you if you'd rather have the knees close or wide. I find wide is really nice, especially when we're getting started and we know we'll be here for a few moments. So send those hips back towards the heels, start to walk those hands out, and then maybe you can release the forehead to the earth, or else you can stack it on your hands or fists. Or if you have a block, a pillow, anything. So you can close the eyes. Begin to settle in as you start to focus on the breath, deepening and lengthening those inhales and exhales. Let's all take a big deep inhale through the nose, holding it at the top. Exhale, sigh it out. Notice if that helps you a bit in relaxing, releasing. It may not. And then if you feel ready, if it feels okay, you can come back to simply using the nose for your inhales and exhales. Maybe you bring a slight constriction to the back of the throat. You can kind of hear that audible sound as you exhale. Turning on your Ujjayi breath. So remembering that we want to try to stay with our breath as we move through our practice today. Using the breath to help you come into and out of your shapes. Using your breath to help you maybe calm the mind a bit, help you to find focus, presence. And taking a moment in this child's pose to notice how the body is feeling today. Noticing any areas where you may need to give a bit more attention or be a bit more gentle. Being gentle with your entire self as always, but just again noticing. And so remembering that this is your practice. Find what works for you, coming into variations if you need to, or something completely different than me. Making your practice your own, and simply knowing that by showing up, you've done the hardest part. So let's start to come into a side stretch. Walk those hands over to the right. Maybe stack that left hand on top and settle back in as you find that big stretch, extension, expansion along the left side of the body. Trying to keep that left hip even with the right. It may try to creep up a bit. If so, you can simply back off your stretch a little bit. Let's walk the hands back through center and over to the left. So maybe that right hand comes on top as you gently settle back in, finding that stretch on the right side, taking a few breaths. Let's walk the hands back through center as we press ourselves up into our tabletop. So beginning to stack those hips over the knees, shoulders over the wrists, spreading the hands wide, fingers wide. So if you have any wrist pressure, you can walk those hands forward, spin the fingers out, curl up the hands into fists, coming to the base of the fingers, trying to really make that weight even throughout the hand, maybe more through that thumb and first finger. Tops of feet can be on the earth, coming to a nice neutral spine. And then let's inhale as we drop the belly, take the gaze and the tail up for cow. And exhale, round the spine, press the earth away for cat. Inhale, arching up. And exhale, round. So take a few more on your own. And if you'd like to bring some movement, maybe pressing back into a child's pose when you come to your cat, and then pulling yourself through for cow. Doing whatever movements feel right for you today. Maybe it's circling the hips, swaying side to side. Really noticing the sensations that are going up along through the spine. Then if you haven't been coming back into that child's pose, press yourself back there once more. So your knees may be closer together this time from your tabletop position, mine are. As you come forward, pull yourself all the way through onto your belly. And we're coming into a cobra. So that shoulders are under the, or hands are under the shoulders. Press that upper body up. Lift the feet up off the earth, the shins. So we're just above the knees. So our arms are straight. So we're just to the bottom of the thighs, above the knees, feet are towards the sky. You can have your gaze at the top of the mat so you're not cranking your neck up. We're just building a bit of strength through the arms and feeling a little bit of a stretch in that low back. And then we'll press back to a child's pose. So the hands are still reaching forward, hips are back by the heels. And then let's do that 2 more times. So pull yourself through, bringing that upper body forward, lifting up through the upper body, and lifting those shins, those feet up off the earth. So trying to make sure you're not on the kneecaps. So you're just above the knee. And exhale, press yourself back into that child's pose. Inhale as you pull yourself forward. Exhale, press back. And come back up to your tabletop. And from here, let's take our spinal balance. So extend the left leg long behind, flex through that left foot, and maybe you lift your right arm out in front. So engaging the core here, finding some length from that left foot all the way to the right fingers. Finding your breath, your balance. And today we're going to extend the arm and leg out to the side. So that left leg is coming to the left, right arm goes to the right. And again, you can have that right arm released and just do this with the leg and come back through center, extending in front and back. Exhale out to the side and center, side, center, and release that right hand. Drop the left foot so the left leg is still straight. And we're just taking the ball of the foot to the earth as we press that heel back. Maybe you rock back and forth. And the hands and that foot getting a little bit of a calf stretch. And come back to your tabletop. Let's switch sides. So extend the right leg out long, flexing through that foot. lifting it up, maybe you lift that left hand, left arm. So finding that length, spinal balance, your breath, that core engagement. And let's take that left arm to the left, right leg to the right. And center, out, in, out, in, and release that left hand, drop that right foot, and just press that heel back. And again, if you'd like to just kind of rock front to back. And come back to that tabletop. And then let's take our toe stretch. So let's curl the toes under and start to walk the hands back as we take those hips back to sit up on the heels. So we're on our shins. You may need to use your hands to flip those pinky toes under. So we'll take a neck stretch as well. If you need to come to tops of feet, please feel free. Otherwise, hands can be on your thighs. Let's gently take that chin toward the chest. Taking a few breaths here. Feeling a stretch on the back of the neck. Exhale, right ear toward that right shoulder. If you'd like, you can reach that left arm behind, that forearm behind the low back, reaching the left fingers towards that right arm. And you can just gently play with the position of the chin, tilting it up or down. Find that area that you need to be in for your nice side stretch. And gently, if that left hand is behind, take that left hand back towards the thigh, chin comes back toward the chest. And we'll gently roll that left ear to the left shoulder. And then you can stay right here, or you can reach that right arm behind the low back. And the fingers don't have to actually reach that left arm, just kind of going in that direction. And again, just sort of playing with the position of your chin. Breathing. We're almost finished. If you still have the toes flipped under. And gently release that right hand back to the right thigh. Chin comes towards the chest. Come back onto your hands. Come to tops of feet. Maybe you need to just kind of slap those feet out a little bit. Just releasing all of that tension that may have been created. And then let's come into our ankle stretch. So leaning back onto those heels once more, but we're on our tops of our feet. Hands can come behind the low back and then gently start to lift the knees. So only if this feels okay for you, like anything else. We're just trying to look for a stretch through the front of the ankles. So you can lift the knees as little or as much as you need to. And gently release, come back into that tabletop. And we'll start to make our way into our first down dog. So curling those toes under once more, start to lift the knees, sending that torso, the heart towards the thighs as we send the tail to the sky. Maybe we pedal out through the feet. So the hands are still, the fingers are still spread wide, trying to take pressure off the wrists, either curling those fingertips or really focusing between the thumb and first finger. You can shake your head yes or no. Your feet can be closer together, or maybe they're spread a little bit wider. Again, you can have a bend in the knees or not, just really focusing on that tail being high, spine is long. Let's inhale the right leg high to the sky, three-legged dog. Let's open it up as we bend that knee towards the sky, heel toward the seat. Maybe take some circles with that right ankle. We'll do a little bit of core work here. So coming back to center with those hips, that right leg is high. And as you exhale, shift forward with the upper body, bring that right elbow or right knee towards the right elbow. And send it back up. Three-legged dog. Shift forward, right knee, left elbow. And three-legged dog. And come forward, knee towards the nose. And step it through, runner's lunge. So while we're here today, we're in our runner's lunge. Hands are framing that right foot, pressing that left heel back. And then just sort of dip that left knee. So we're just sort of bending that left leg, hovering it above the earth, and straighten it back out. 2 more times. Bend and straight, hover, straight. And let's start to come into our pyramid. Straighten out that right leg. You can walk the hands back. Inhale up on those fingertips for a nice flat back, and exhale as you fold over that straight-ish right leg. You can always have a bend in the knee if you need to. Looking for a nice stretch on the back of the leg. Rebend, coming back to that runner's lunge. So we're coming right into a standing split here as we ground into that right foot. Pop that left foot up. More of a standing L. That left foot can also just be at a hover. And then we'll take our Jiva squats while we're here. So we will bring that left knee behind the right, squat down, bend deeply into that right leg. Maybe I come up onto the ball of my foot, my right heel lifts, and then lift back up into that standing split or L. Exhale, squat down, left knee behind the right, and up. One more, down, up. And let's start to gently lower, rebend in that right leg, relower that left foot toward the earth, runner's lunge. Plant that left hand, inhale the right arm up for our dragonfly twist. You can always release that left knee for the earth. Exhale, right hand down, and let's step that right foot back, down dog. Pedal out through the feet if you need to. Drop the knees for a rest if you need to. Let's take that on the other side. Inhale, left leg high, and bend that leg as you stack the hips, left knee to the sky, heel to the seat. Maybe take some circles with that left ankle. And coming back to center with the hips, shift forward, left knee, left elbow, and three-legged dog, left knee, right elbow, and up, left knee toward the nose, and step that left foot through, runner's lunge. And so again, setting up here, deeply bending in that left leg. Let's dip that right knee toward the earth. And straight, dip, straight, dip, and straight. Let's start to straighten that left leg. Coming into that pyramid, you can walk your hands back if you need to. Come up on those fingertips to find a nice flat back, and then exhale as you fold over that straight left leg, straight-ish left leg. And let's start to rebend. Runner's lunge. Grounding into that left foot as we pop that right foot up. So again, that right foot can be hovering or more at your L shape. And let's bring that right knee behind the left as we squat down into that Jiva squat. And up, down, up, down, up, and gently begin to relower that right foot. Coming back to that runner's lunge, plant that right hand, inhale the left arm up for your dragonfly twist. Again, you can always release that right knee. Exhale, left hand to the earth. Step that left foot back,
down dog. And then you can pedal out here. Let's start to walk our feet to the top of the mat. Forward fold. Let's take a full ragdoll. So deeply bend the knees. You can rest the belly. Hands can be on at the earth or reach for opposite elbows. Maybe you sway side to side. Head is heavy. And coming back to center, release the hands. Start to roll up one vertebra at a time. Head is the last to rise. You come all the way into your mountain pose. Tadasana, close the eyes. Take a moment here to ground the feet. To stand tall, fingers reaching towards the earth. Take a big deep inhale through the nose. Exhale, sigh it out. Inhale, circle the arms up overhead. As with an exhale, maybe you lean back for a slight back bend, gazing up. Inhale up through center, hands touch. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, hinge at the hips, arms sweep down at the sides as you fold forward. Inhale, half lift. So hands to shins or thighs, length from the tailbone to the crown of the head. Exhale, fold. Let's step the right foot back and then the left. Coming into a high plank, you can release the knees if you'd like, or you can come right back into a full down dog. So if you're in a high plank and would like to take a full vinyasa today, gently start to lower yourself to the earth. So maybe you drop knees, chest, chin. Maybe you drop your knees, and then you can press your upper body up. So coming into a cobra, almost like we did earlier, but this time our tops of feet are on the earth. If you'd like to lift your knees and be in a full up dog, you can do that, which is what I'm doing. Curling my toes under, exhale, pressing back to down dog. So we'll do that. Let's do that one more time. So let's walk the feet forward into our forward fold. This time, let's slightly bend the knees. Inhale, circle, sweep all the way up. Exhale, press the air away, right away, fold forward. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. This time, left foot steps back first, and then the right coming into that high plank, or knees down, or right to your down dog. I'm in high plank, strong through those arms, gently beginning to bend at the elbows as I lower myself all the way down. You can drop your knees, come down however you need to get here. You can lower your legs, your knees to the earth, pressing your upper body up for cobra, or keep those knees lifted, press up for upward facing dog. Tops of my feet are on the earth, knees are lifted, arms are mostly straight. And exhale, curling those toes back under, pressing the tail up for down dog. You can, again, pedal out, take a rest. Do what you need to do. Inhale, right leg high. Exhale, right foot steps through, runner's lunge. And let's inhale our arms up for a high crescent lunge. Dropping those elbows, shoulders away from the ears. Fingers are reaching high, bending through that straight right leg. You can take a moment to adjust your stance. Let's exhale, cactus those arms. So bending at the elbows, squeezing the shoulder blades, maybe send that gaze up. Inhale, arms reach back up high. Exhale, open the arms to a T, drop that left foot, warrior two. Bending through that right leg, gazing over the right fingertips. Left foot parallel to the back of the mat or slightly turned in. Again, strong through those legs. Feet are firmly planted, helping you to root down. And let's inhale, straighten that right leg, reach those arms up overhead, coming right into our 5-pointed star. So you can pivot the right toes. We're
wide stance facing the long end of the mat. Hands come to touch. Exhale, squat down. Prayer squat. Hands at heart center. Knees bent. My toes are facing out, heels in. Nice tall spine. Knees are going out toward the outer edge of the feet. And let's lift the one heel at a time. So lift that right heel and release left heel. Release right, left, right, left. Inhale all the way back up, 5-pointed star. Turn, repivot those feet. Come back into your warrior two, facing that right over those right fingertips. Flip that right palm, reverse left arm anywhere along that left leg. Right arm up and over. Exhale, side angle, right forearm to the right thigh. Left arm reaches, left bicep by the left ear. Fingers reach forward. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, cartwheel those hands down to frame that right foot. Come back to that runner's lunge. We'll take a standing split once more. Ground into that right foot. Pop that left foot up. So this time, you can, we're coming all the way, we're gonna come right into our balance poses. You can drop the left foot, or as we come all the way to rise, start to lift the upper body, bring that left foot through, coming into your one-legged Tadasana. Left knee is bent, lifted in front of you. Hands are reaching for the earth at your sides. Again, you can drop the foot, and then once you get to standing, you can relift it. And then we'll take our standing pigeon. So we'll start to cross that left ankle over the top of the right thigh. Hands can come to heart center or at your hips. And we'll start to bend the right leg coming down into a seat. So sometimes it's called gentleman's chair. I just call it standing pigeon. So we're balancing on that right foot. My hands are at heart center, prayer. You can always start to fold forward and release your hands to the earth. Looking for a nice stretch on the outside of that left hip. And some strength, maybe shaking in that right leg. So to come out, we're going to inhale, stand all the way back up. Lift that left foot up once more. We're still balancing. We're going to, again, you can drop the foot. Start to hinge forward, release that left leg, or send that left leg behind you. Hands are reaching back, coming into our airplane. And drop those hands back to that standing split. And let's start to bend that right leg as we drop that left foot back behind us, runner's lunge. Let's step that right foot back to meet the left, down dog. Again, you can pedal through the feet, drop the knees, take a rest. We'll take that on the other side. Inhale, left leg high. Exhale, step it through, runner's lunge. Inhale, both arms reach up high, crescent lunge. Again, take a moment to find your stance, your stability. Notice if those ears start to hunch up, or the shoulders start to hunch up by the ears, trying to release them. Let's bend at the elbows, cactus the arms as we open up the heart, the chest, squeeze those shoulder blades together. Maybe take your gaze up. Inhale, arms back up high. Exhale, drop that right foot, open up the arms to a T, warrior two. Gazing over those left fingers, bending deeply through that left leg. Feet are firmly grounding. And let's straighten that leg, come up into that 5-pointed star. So pivot the left foot so that we are facing that long end of the mat. Toes are facing out. Hands come to touch. Exhale, prayer squat. So this time, so we're bending through those legs, hands are at heart center, and we'll just pulse. So just gently
lifting up and down, just pulsing those knees. Inhale all the way back up, 5-pointed star. Repivot those feet. So come back to that warrior two, gazing, arms at a T, gazing over those left fingers. Let's flip that left palm and reverse. Right arm down that right leg, left arm reaches up and over. Exhale, side angle, left forearm to the left thigh, right arm reaches overhead. And reverse. Exhale, cartwheel those hands down to frame that left foot. Back to that runner's lunge. Ground into the left foot. Pop the right foot up. Standing split or L. Again, we'll start to rise up into that one-leg Tadasana. So however you need to get there. You can come to the tops of your fingers and then gently start to lift that upper body up as you begin to bring that right leg forward, right leg through. You can drop the right leg and then relift it. Reaching those fingers down to the earth as your arms are down at your sides. Right knee is lifted. Grounding into that left foot. Breathing. And let's cross that right ankle over the top of the left thigh. Maybe your hands come to your hips or to heart center as you gently start to bend into the left leg. Coming down into that seat. So keep that, or try to keep that right foot flexed. Again, you can stay lifted with the hands at heart center, or you can gently release the hands to the earth. Breathing. If you're shaking, if you fall out, you can always come back. And let's gently lift back up, all the way back up. We'll start to send that right leg back as we sweep those arms back, coming into our airplane. So upper body comes parallel to the earth. Flexing that right foot, fingers reaching back behind us. Gently release those hands to the earth. And start to rebend in that left leg as you release the right foot to the ground, runner's lunge. And step that left foot back. Down dog. Pedal out, drop the knees, take a rest, do what you need to do. Let's inhale, right leg high. As we exhale, this time bring that right foot to the outside of the right hand, coming into our lizard lunge. So I'm keeping my left knee lifted today. You can do that, or you can release it, but I'm going to have an option in a moment. You can gently sway side to side if you'd like to get into those hips, legs. Okay, so option to come into a horizon lunge. So you'll come onto the knife edge of both feet. So pivoting onto the knife edge of that right foot as well as the left. So those hips may drop to the left. Grounding in that left hand, maybe you reach that right arm up and back. So the upper body's facing the right side, and the right hand, on my right arm is basically parallel to my left leg. So it's just reaching back towards the back of the mat. And you can gaze over that right shoulder towards the right hand, towards the back of the mat, or you can simply keep that gaze to the right. And let's bring that right hand back around, if you have it, back to the earth. Come back to the, plant that right foot, come back to the ball of that left foot. Let's bring that left foot up to the outside of the left hand to come into a malasana, squat at the top of the mat. So toes face out, heels in, hands can be on the earth, or reach the hands up for prayer as you press the arms into the legs. Keeping a nice tall spine. So you can stay here. Option, we're taking a few lifts, raising up and down. So we're just going to lift the hips so that they're even with the knees. So the upper body basically comes parallel to the earth. And then lower those hips once more. Lift the hips. Lower. Lift. Lower. We'll just do 3 because we'll take it on the other side. Release those hands. Let's take a forward fold. So start to lift those hips again. Coming into a wide fold. So feet are still out. Maybe you rock side to side. Maybe you take more of a rag doll, deeply bending the knees. And then if you want to heel toe those feet back in, you can inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Let's step the right foot back and then the left straight back into down dog. Again, pedaling it out, dropping the knees. We'll take that on the other side. So let's inhale that left leg high. Exhale, step that left foot to the outside of the left hand. So again, I'm keeping my right knee lifted. You can totally drop it if you'd like. And I'm just staying up on my hands as I take a few gentle sways, rocks from side to side here, letting those hips drop down. And then preparing for that horizon lunge. So again, you can always stay right here. Otherwise, I'm opening up that left leg, coming onto that knife edge of the left foot, and coming to the knife edge of that right foot. Grounding into that right hand as I inhale that left arm up and over, reaching that left arm back. So I'm taking that gaze over the left shoulder towards the back of the mat. You can keep that gaze to the left. You can allow those hips to kind of drop down to the mat. Gently bring that left hand back. Come back up into that lizard. Plant that left foot on the earth. And then let's step that right foot up. Coming into that malasana once more, yogi squat. So hands can stay on the earth or up through heart center. Nice tall spine, settle in here. So again, if you want to take those lifts but not be this low, you can always stay a little bit higher. Do what works for you. So we'll start to lift those hips, just even with the knees, upper body parallel to the earth. And drop. Lift. Lower. Lift. Lower. And let's release those hands. Start to come up into that forward fold. Lifting the hips up. So again, my feet are still wide. You can take that gentle sway, rock side to side if you'd like. And before we step back, if you'd like to heel toe those feet back in towards the center of the mat, take a half lift, hands to shins or thighs. Exhale, fold. And let's step that left foot back this time. And then the right, down dog. Pedal it out. And let's release those knees to the earth. And we'll start to come all the way onto our belly from here. And so chin or forehead to the earth. And let's take our arms down our sides. Tops of feet are on the earth. And then we'll start to take a locust. So as we inhale, lift that upper body, the arms are hovering, the fingers are reaching towards the feet. Maybe you lift the legs. The gaze, the neck are soft. Breathing. Exhale, release all the way down. You can take one cheek to the mat if you'd like, big toes to touch. Allow the feet to drop. Maybe just gonna rock the hips side to side. And we'll take that one more time with an option for bow. And so bringing the chin or forehead back to center, back to the earth. So this time, so you can take that once again. If you know you want to come into a bow, you can start to bend the legs. So kicking the heels toward the seat. And then as you inhale, lift the upper body up. Maybe you reach your hands for your feet, the tops of your feet or your ankles. And then you can kind of lift the legs as well as you press your feet into your hands into your feet. Gaze and neck are still soft. So my knees, trying to keep the knees fairly close together. And my thighs just come not even a whole lot up off the earth. So really it's just more above the knees. Just finding this deep back bend, quad stretch, breathing, release. Again, you can always, that can always be a standard locust. With the legs straight, release the arms back to your side, come to the other cheek, whichever one you weren't at. My legs are still bent, and then if you'd like to windshield those legs side to side. Or you can have the feet released to the earth, just rocking those hips side to side. And release those legs back out long if they're not. Chin or forehead back to the earth. Hands come underneath the shoulders. You can press up to curl the toes, press up to one more plank if you'd like, or come up to a tabletop. You're coming up into that plank. We're just holding it for a moment. Pressing those heels back, engaging the core. Elbows have a slight micro bend. You can be in this, you can be building strength here in a plank variation with the knees dropped as well. Or again, you can be in that tabletop. And otherwise, we'll start to drop the knees and begin to come onto our seats. So just kind of walking those hands forward, however you need to get to your seat. Extend your legs out long in front of you. Let's take a staff Dandasana pose. Hands next to the hips, press into the earth. Find that nice tall spine, flexing through the feet. Inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, hinge at the hips, fold forward. Hands fall wherever they may. Feet, ankles, shins, calves, thighs, earth. Pulling that chest forward to find some length in the spine. And then if this feels okay for you, you can start to exhale round and release the head, the upper back. And start to walk those hands back up the legs. We'll take our twist. Left leg stays long, bend the right. Right foot plants to the inside or the outside of that left thigh. Right hand comes behind the low back. Inhale, left arm high. Reaching up, extending. Exhale to the right. Left arm hugs or comes to the outside of that right leg. Inhale, tall spine, and exhale as you twist. And coming back through center. Release that right leg long, switching sides. Bend the left foot plants to the inside or outside. Left hand comes behind, inhale, right arm up. Reach up high, exhale, twist to the left. Inhale, tall spine, and exhale, twist. Gently come back through center. Release, uncross both feet to the earth, knees to the sky, and we'll just use some core strength, reaching those hands out in front as we start to lower ourselves all the way to the earth. So just slowly and gently, one vertebra at a time, rolling all the way down. And we'll begin to walk those feet closer to the seat. Maybe your fingers scrape, or maybe the fingers graze, graze the heels. And as we inhale, let's press those hips up, ground into the feet for a bridge pose. And sending those knees forward. So you can keep your arms at your side. Today we're going to, you can always interlace and roll our shoulders over, but today we're having an option of grounding that left foot as we lift that right foot for the sky. Breathing, so I'm simply keeping my arms at my sides for this. So if you have that right leg lifted, you can keep it that way as you lower your hips, cross the right ankle over that left knee, left thigh, and let's come into that back pigeon. So you can stay right here, or you can start to hug that left leg in as you interlace your hands around that left shin or thigh. Maybe use the right arm to gently press on that right leg. Notice if you're holding any tension in your neck, shoulders that you can release. And let's take our arms to a T. Release that left foot back for the earth. Keep that right foot crossed and begin to drop the legs to the left. So right foot and outer left leg plant down. Maybe you take your gaze to the right. And breathe. Gently come back up through center. Release the right foot for the earth. Hands can come back to your side, arms can come back to your sides. We'll take that bridge pose once again. So that leg lift is completely optional, of course, as everything. So we'll start to inhale, press into the feet, lift the hips, send those knees forward. And then if you are taking that leg lift, ground into that right foot as you begin to extend that left leg towards the sky, flexing that left foot, breathing. Gently start to lower your hips back down and begin to cross that left ankle over the top of the right thigh, keeping that left foot flexed. Maybe you stay here, maybe you start to hug it in, interlacing the fingers around that right shin or thigh. Maybe use that left arm to put some pressure against the left leg. Breathe. Let's begin to take those arms out to a T as we lower that right foot back to the earth if it's not there. And start to drop the legs over to the right. Left foot, outer right leg, plant down. Gaze stays towards the sky, or you can gently turn that gaze to the left. And let's begin to come back up through center. Release that left foot to the earth. If you'd like, you can take those feet a bit wider on the mat and then maybe start to windshield the knees back and forth, releasing that low back. Start to come back through center as you begin to bring the knees in for a hug. You can rock your arms around your shins, maybe just reaching for opposite wrists or all the way through your elbows to come into a nice tight little ball. Maybe you start to lift the head, reaching the forehead for the knees. And gently begin to lower, relax. And if you'd like to come into a full happy baby, begin to reach your hands for the outside or the inside of the legs, reaching for the big toe or the outside of the foot, shins or thighs. Starting to separate the legs, bring those knees toward the earth, feet to the sky. Maybe you gently rock side to side. Maybe you straighten one leg or both legs out. So finding any movement here. As you are ready, start to prepare for your final Shavasana. Giving yourself another hug, squeezing those knees in, and then beginning to extend the legs out long. Maybe you take your feet as wide as your mat or your space. Arms can be at your sides or further away from the body. Palms face up. Legs, feet are just dropping open to the sides. Begin to close the eyes. Maybe take a gentle rock with the head side to side for a moment until you find that nice spot in which to rest. Let's all take a big deep inhale through the nose, holding it. To exhale side out. Beginning to come back to the natural breath. As you start to release any residual tension left in the body. Softening through the temples. Separating the teeth and unclenching the jaw. Maybe take a swallow to soften through the throat, the neck. Relaxing the shoulders, upper arms, forearms, hands and fingers. Belly and chest are soft as they rise and fall with the natural breath. Relaxing the low back, glutes, hamstrings and thighs. Softening the knees, calves and the feet. Each exhale, allow your body to sink a bit deeper into the earth. Sink a bit deeper into relaxation. To sink a bit deeper into stillness.
If you have the time this morning and would like to extend your Shavasana, feel free to do so. Our bodies did a lot of work today, and that is the most important pose shape for allowing our body that time to really relax and release all of that energy that we created. You do need to begin moving on and begin to deepen your breath. Slowly begin to bring movement back as you wiggle your fingers, your toes. Begin to make small movements, rolling the ankles, the wrists. Whenever you're ready, you can reach the arms up overhead for a big full body stretch. Back into full awareness of the body, breath, the mind. As you are ready, you can begin to bring the knees in towards the chest as you make your way to your favorite side, in sleeping child's pose, resting your head in your bicep pillow. Taking a few more grounding breaths, as well as a moment of gratitude. Gratitude for coming to your practice today. Appreciation for what your body could do for you today, for your mind, for your breath. Moment of gratitude for all your blessings in life, big and small. For your loved ones, and for the day that lies ahead. As you're ready, you can gently begin to press yourself into your comfortable seated position, trying to keep the eyes closed. Taking another moment or two to focus on the breath, to remember the restorative effects the breath can have on the mind and the body. To know that you can come back to these breaths of awareness and intention at any time throughout the day in order to help you find a sense of peace and presence. Inhale, reaching the arms up overhead. And exhale, hands through heart center. May you have compassion in your thoughts. May you have kindness in your words and actions. And may you have love and peace in your hearts. Namaste.